Hi, this is Antonio, and I'm going to be giving you an overlook of Aweber, at least from my perspective. So you should be able to see, again, I'm in Aweber, and I prefer Aweber. Not that I've tried out the other services, but everything I read, the top internet marketers all use Aweber. It's probably one of the more expensive platforms, and that's relative. I think for the return on investment, it's a great deal. The pricing goes up as you get more and more subscribers. You can see that I'm at a point where I've got over 7,000, almost 7,400 people subscribed as of 7/16/2011. And of that, they count towards the grand total. So I've got 278 people who have unsubscribed. My unsubscribed numbers actually are much lower than, because I go through and I periodically clean these guys out. I know a lot of people keep their unsubscribed numbers. They like to see who unsubscribes and for what reason. I'm not really focusing on that, and since I have to pay for everyone on here, I'm kind of cheap, and I just send them right off. So I will go through probably once every couple weeks and just reset all these down to zero. But I can tell you that I'm not afraid of people unsubscribing, and in fact I think it's a good thing, because I don't want somebody on my list who doesn't need to be there. And so that's one of the things I love about Aweber, is they've forced somebody who signs up for your email subscription letter to double opt in. And they give them the option very easily at the end of each email you send out to opt out. And this is important, because if they can't opt out, then people are going to be very upset. So usually my complaints are very low. Occasionally I'll get somebody, or a couple people that will complain, and it'll pop up as this yellow, here Aweber's telling me to be careful. But I'm sure a lot of people get a lot worse than me, because I think I even tell people in my initial, and I'll show you guys actually my the automatic messages that I send people. Okay, so here you can see this gives you a general overview. You can see that I'm using multiple lists, so I don't put everybody into one list. I like to parse them out, because I think it's important that I see these are people that I'm getting from a tailored suit. So this is where I get most of my subscribers. These are the subscribers that I get from Real Men Real Style, and I've got a name for this list. This was an early list. The first one I started with, I had it up for actually probably like 4 or 5 months, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I probably gave away these guys too much info. And I keep this separate from my other lists, because these are guys that have been on it for a long time, but I've also given away a lot of products which I never gave to these other lists. So I know that these guys are probably going to be a better sale for information products, versus these guys I'm not sure about, because I almost basically gave them some of my best information products already, and I don't want to double up. So I keep these guys separate, and in fact I'll probably eventually kill this list, even though it's got over 2,000 people on it. But I do think I'm exhausting the strength of this list, and I'll show you how I get those indicators. So if I go down and I look at the latest broadcast message I sent out, and there's two types of messages I usually send out, which are broadcast, and the other one is, what's it called? Let me look at messages, broadcast and follow-ups. So let me step back. So broadcast and follow-ups, the difference is follow-ups are automatically sent out. Broadcasts I send out manually at a set time. So just yesterday I sent out a broadcast. I haven't gotten back my complaints yet, but it doesn't look like we're going to have any, which is great. And you can see that I sent one of them to over 870 people, another one to almost 4,000 people, and another one to 2,000. So I've got 3 lists that I usually send out to. The other lists are more specialized lists, which I don't always send content out to. But we can see that we had some bounces here, and that of the open rates, the old list, the one that I've had these guys on there for like a year, and I haven't really been adding to it, you can see that they've got the lowest open rate, so I feel I'm kind of exhausting these guys out. Although there were a lot of people, because 385 people opened this and 115 actually went to where I wanted them to go, there are, at least, probably a couple hundred people on here who I want to stay in touch with. And so I'm going to give them multiple opportunities to migrate over to some of my other lists here soon. But I want to get these up. And you can see actually this one's pretty good. It's at 27% open my emails, and then 10% actually go to where I send them. I think that's a little bit above industry standard, maybe Actually, I don't know much from our industry because not really many people are doing it here. But you can see this one's a little bit lower, but that makes sense because I think that the traffic I get to a tailored suit is a little less specific than the traffic over at Real Men Real Style. But a tailored suit, I can't ignore it because I get 4 times, 5 times as many people signing up. Okay, you can see, again, this yellow, this complaints. These are people I think that sometimes sign up and they don't know what they're doing and they just complain. People are always going to complain. I guess I could send them money in the mail and they would complain, but it's one of those things that you just try to keep it as low as possible. As long as it's below 0.1%, you're good to go. And I think this just lets you know, hey, don't make these things too spammy. And yeah, so let me see where we're at. Time-wise, we look like we're doing pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and move over to email parsing. I'm not going to spend any time on that, actually. So let's look at follow-up messages. This is pretty important. These are automated messages that everyone gets, and I tweak these as we go along. The first one I send, it's a welcome, and I actually send them the free ebook that I promise in a PDF format. Then the second message actually is a very powerful one because I'm asking them what did they think of my ebook. And every day I get a couple people that email me back thinking that I actually sent them this message. And that's really cool because it allows me to interact with this person and to show them I'm a real person. And I find that these relationships often lead to deeper conversations and hopefully conversion into eventual clients or customers. All right, then this message I sent, and this is the interval, by the way, so I send these 1 day apart. I send them really in quick succession because this is when a person is most interested, and I get them out a quick message. Then I send them the free audio, which I promised. So at this point, anything I send them is bonus, and that's so a day later they get this bonus. I send them actually video of this 7 Deadly Sin ebook that I've promised them, and they weren't even expecting that. So this is where I see I'm really giving them something of value. And by going video, it's much more interactive and people really like that kind of stuff. And then a couple days later, I'm sending them a little bit more information about me. And I'm telling them about my YouTube channel. I'm introducing them to my Facebook page, telling them about my Twitter. And I'm going to have them to a video which, if they're really interested, they can learn more about me as a person. So this is right now where I'm at. Now, on my older list, I had this actually out for a full 30 days. Right now, I've only got this out for about a week. I need to build this out more, and it is something that I'm slowly working on. And I would say probably this next one I have is going to be, Are You Prepared? And one of the reasons I haven't really pushed this out too much is I'm still working on a product that I want to sell them in this point period. And this is going to be an information product that's going to be coming out hopefully here in the next couple months. If not, I need to set a deadline and get that out. Now, here's something, broadcast messages. Again, I said, the messages before were follow-up. These are broadcasts, and this is where I keep my list fresh because every week I send out a message. And you can see that, there was a time I was having some issues with a little bit of complaints here, but, I'm not too worried about that. I try to keep that down as much, but I can see the rates in which people open my broadcast messages. I usually send these out 3. I can see how many people open, how many people click, and really cool info. And it's something that I've done consistently, and I think you need to contact your list at least once a week to keep it fresh, in my opinion. Well, it depends on, I just don't want them to forget who I am. And if they unsubscribe, so be it, because I'm giving away 75% of the time great content. I'm not trying to sell them, but like 25% of the time. And if they can't put up with that, then, hey, everybody on my list costs me money, so you can go ahead and get off my list. Search subscribers. This is another really cool Aweber tool. It lets me go through and look at why people are subscribing. I can look at what email at what point are they jumping ship. So a lot of powerful things here. Now, web forms. This is really cool. I break up my web forms and I test them. So actually 5 and 10% of the time I'm always kind of experimenting with different web forms. Web form 3 I found is the most effective, and you can see this one I have the most stats for, and this one about 2% I have a conversion rate, so whenever somebody sees it they give me their name. Now, my worst performer is the form 4, but this is an inline form, so this actually means if I were to pull it up over at a tailored suit, this is actually the form right there that appears to everybody. The other ones are light boxes, and I highly advise light boxes. A lot of people don't like them because they personally find them annoying, but there's no better way to get in front of somebody and force them to make a decision. And if they click away, it's like, hey, I'm giving away tons of free content. The least you can do is, click away and ignore my light box if you don't want to use it. And if you do sign up for it, then I'm giving you away tons of great content. So I've only had one person complain in the last year about my light boxes. And sure, there's probably some people it annoys, but they wouldn't be customers or clients anyway, so why do I care? Okay. Again, I like to test this. I need to do more testing because I used to have this up to 4%, but I think I was getting a lot more specific traffic at that time period, and it was newer. Now I think I'm getting a lot of return people, so they're not clicking it. But I'd like to see this around 3 to 4% because I know I can get to it, but I just need to spend more time on that. And then reports. This is pretty cool. You can see how many people open up over time. You can see how effective your broadcasts are. Obviously, this one was not very effective. It was a much deeper drop from this one. Then this one was pretty effective. And then this last one was pretty good too. So I can go back and look at what works. Because whenever you send out a broadcast message, that's its own thing in itself. You need to pay attention to the title and really get people to open up. And then I always go to my Google stats, and this is for Real Men Real Style, where I sent them to last time. I can see that I had a few hundred people actually go to my blog yesterday. I went from averaging about 1,000 a day to yesterday I had just over 1,500 people visit Real Men Real Style. So I can attribute probably 500, if not more, of those people coming directly from the email broadcast I sent out, which is pretty powerful, that you send out one email, and I'm only sending out one a week, and you can direct 500 people to wherever you want. And it may not sound like a whole lot because you've got like 7,000 people on your email list that you sent the email to, but I look at it like, you only, people are pretty careful about where they go. Their time's very valuable. I also sent it out on a Friday, and that's usually not very effective. If you look at this other one I sent out, I actually had about 1,000 people go to it, and that one I sent out on I sent out on a Monday, and that's usually a much more effective day. In addition, here's another broadcast I sent out on a Wednesday. I had it's probably 700 people go to. So that's how I measure it, and hopefully you learned a little bit here about Aweber and its power and capabilities. Thank you. Bye-bye.